Hi, everyone. Welcome to Evergrowing. I'm Sabrina. I'm the CEO of Evergrowth Coaching. Being a leader is hard. There are a lot of fears and lots of challenges working with people. And I'm here to share with you the biggest breakthroughs that I see in my coaching sessions working with 8 to 9 figure CEOs in tech. Now, some of these might be stories in leaders' most vulnerable moments, and some of them might be tactic frameworks and operational things that you can implement right away. And my goal is for you to listen to this podcast, implement a few things, and feel better as a leader and improve your organization in 30 days. So let's dive into the episode today. How does multitasking hinder productivity? Multitasking does not help because we actually have research studies showing us that when we multitask, we take shallower breaths. We get into more of a alert and stressed out state in our nervous system, and we're not giving everything ample attention. This applies to when you're trying to do multiple things at once on your laptop. It also applies to when you're in a meeting on Zoom, but also doing something else, right? So a lot of CEOs feel like they're forced to do it because they don't have time, but people will eventually find out if you're distracted and multitasking too much. The best thing to do, you can even try a Pomodoro timer if you have a lot of things, which is 25, 30-minute timers to switch from one task to the other. I highly, highly recommend not multitasking. I've heard a lot of people, including myself, I was very proud of myself for being a great multitasker until I realized I was actually making more mistakes than I'd like and feeling more tired and more stressed out at the end of my workday. And if I just did one thing at a time, I like my job more and I just do a better work simply. If you notice someone on your team who's multitasking a lot and distracted a lot, the best thing to do is to tell them right away. So let's take a step back. The question here is really about if you notice something that your team member's doing that's not beneficial to them or to the team's performance, the worst thing you can do is not tell them. The best thing you can do is to tell them right away and tell them straight up, hey, I have something to share with you. This is what I observed. And this is where I observe you multitasking, and I've maybe seen some mistakes happen at the end, and the expectation is we don't have any mistakes or something like that. I'm giving a really unrealistic example, but go back to the expectations and then pause. See how they respond, and you might do a little bit back and forth, agreeing or disagreeing about the feedback, and eventually it's the person to decide what they would like to do with that information. When we talk about mindfulness, I think we, people in tech, actually use it in the wrong way. We shouldn't be using mindfulness to get us to perform better, to stress less, to focus better. Mindfulness and the practice of meditation is so that we practice. The practice is the end goal. And whatever benefits that you might get is an add-on. When you meditate and when you pursue mindfulness as a means to get to an end, you will most likely feel some type of frustration on the days that you do not get there. Cultivating mindfulness is a way for us to understand and embrace life for what it is. It is of suffering, it is of distraction, it is of pain. And if we're not okay with both the bad and the good, we're going to be feeling a lot of frustration. So if you do meditate, you will eventually get a better focus and less distraction simply because you are more friendly with your mind. You know how your mind works and you know how your thought works and you're less reactive to them. And you can quickly move back to the task at hand, right? Because in meditation, when we get distracted, we move back to our breathing or whatever the object of meditation is. So you're training this muscle and you can get back on task a lot faster and you can be more in control and in tune with your emotions. But again, that's not the main goal. That just happens when you meditate. The main goal to meditating is pursuing the state of mindfulness and living life in a different level of consciousness. And that, I don't even know how to describe in words how different that might be. It's like living in a 2D world compared to living in a 5D world after you've been practicing for quite some time. Most of my clients do have some sort of meditation practice already. It's very popular in tech because of the side benefits, because everyone's doing it, like ice baths and whatnot. Everyone's trying to optimize their performance. I think that's better than nothing, right? Like, even though I strongly believe in not meditating for the optimization, but being happy with the optimization side benefits, a lot of people at least are still meditating more than before. I did have a client a while ago who's a CEO who was always constantly overwhelmed and emotional. So she would experience a lot of mood shifts throughout the day and throughout the week. And when her emotions are so intense, she turns to kind of partying and just being in social environments to numb herself of those feelings. We spent months and months talking about mindfulness and meditation. And as a coach, it's not right for me to decide what's right for everyone. What's right for me has been meditation. I don't know if it is for each of my clients. All I can do is to continuously throw out different things that might help until something hits and the client decides that's something that they want to try. So I actually introduce a lot of mindfulness in coaching sessions. Coaching is about mindfulness because when you describe something to me and you're feeling mood swings and you're feeling really stressful, I'm slowing down that interaction with you. And I ask you, well, what's making you feel stressed? What did you do when you feel stressed? Okay, you went to partying. And how did you feel afterwards? Did it feel better or worse? Well, it felt better for a little bit until that fear returned. And then I was lashing out at my teammates again. That is mindfulness. Mindfulness can be taken out because it is a way to be aware of all the things that's going on internally and externally so that we may do something differently. Ultimately, after a few rounds of coaching and lots of conversations, she became very familiar of the motion of slowing these interaction down and looking within herself. She got a lot of wisdom into it. And she said, well, if only I could do something on a daily basis that helps. That's when she decided it's time to meditate constantly. And I'm still in touch with her many years later. I think she's still meditating every day. And, I'm sure there's still mood swings and there's still ups and downs. But from what she's told me throughout the years, she's completely a different person. And she's able to withstand much larger scale of challenges, which led her to do better and better things in her career. Well, if you're procrastinating, first thing first, it's very human. Please be kind to yourself. One of the worst things you can do when you're procrastinating is to hate yourself for procrastinating and berate yourself for why you're procrastinating, because it'll make the procrastination worse, right? When we're procrastinating, let's talk about what's actually happening. There's something that's so deeply uncomfortable that we can't bring ourselves, we can't mobilize enough energy to do it. I mean, I kind of get a little bit emotional just talking about it because it's really hard. And most of us don't give ourselves enough self-compassion when we're procrastinating. We always take the harder road to say, let's do it right now. What's wrong with you? If that's happening, if you're procrastinating, I would see if I can find any patterns to things that you're procrastinating about. What is it that you're so resistant to? What assumptions are you making about doing this task? And what could make it better? Do you need to do it in a different time? Do you need to not do it at all? Do you need to do it with help? What is actually going to help you? Now, speaking tactfully, the easiest thing you could do is to find an accountability buddy. This could be a coworker, this could be an assistant, this could be even a partner or a friend to say, hey, I've been procrastinating on this thing for a long time and I know I have to do it. Can we just do it together? Or can I give you a deadline and you check in on me? So having an external party can sometimes help. In a lot of my work with my clients, I am that accountability partner. That's why we're able to get clients to do things very, very quickly. And with more actions, you create more results, right? So we're just able to punch through things they've been procrastinating on for hours, days, weeks, and months. That's about getting help. But at the end of the day, you still have to realize you're procrastinating. Know that you want to change that. Be kind to yourself and find out what you need and give yourself what you need. So if you just follow that a couple more times, you will feel less and less resistant to the task at hand and then be more willing to do it. And the last tactical tip that I will do is to arrange the task that you don't want to do when you are at peak energy. So for me, I will do it first thing in the morning sometimes, or I'll do it after a hard workout, or I'll do it after a fun hangout with friends where I feel like I can just flow into that task and I have more energy than usual. I think work-life balance is oversimplifying what work and life is, right? Like it seems like there's something you can do to make it perfectly in balance and then it'll tilt and then you're not in balance anymore. And it also seemed like work and life are the only things competing against each other. What I really believe in is finding harmony, your individualized harmony with your work and life. For any given people, let's say like I am someone who will not thrive working 80, 90 hours a week, but there are some people who might thrive, who loves their work so much and they really want to dedicate 80, 90 hours per week at work. With the work-life balance framework, they might not be balanced, but with the harmony framework, they might be in harmony because what creates harmony is for us to understand what we need and arrange our schedule around it. That means I'm looking at different slices of pie. What are different slices of pie do I need in a given week in our given lives that makes me happy? So there's work, there's life, there's workout, there's social, there's nature, there's whatever it is that you may want, and create a harmonious combination of it all. And the thing about harmony is that it can change day to day, week to week. And it's about finding that harmony again and falling out and finding it again. I don't really know if the balance is the best way to describe it because it is so simplified. And I believe all of us can find our harmony on a given day.